Welcome to Bruce Cohn Fitness. Today we're going to demonstrate for you a band warm-up that we use prior to clients beginning weight training or conditioning of any sort. We like the bands because of their flexibility. You can control the resistance by how far away you stand. They will increase blood flow to the muscles prior to workout, and you get to rehearse some of the same movements that you're going to be doing during the workout. I've asked my client Myron to demonstrate today. We're going to start with upper back exercises, working on pulling the shoulder blades back to counter the effects of modern day living where we all tend to be rounded forward. Myron's going to turn into the well. I'll hand him off the bands. He's going to get into an athletic stance. His knees are bent. His quads are engaged. He's going to turn his palms down. And as he pulls back, he's going to turn his palms up. His shoulders are rotating, but more importantly, look how his shoulder blades are coming in. His chest is expanding. He's activating this muscle group. Great demonstration. Okay, the second exercise in this sequence builds on what we did on the first. It's an upper body pulling pattern, but you'll notice as Myron pulls, he steps back and opens up. This has the effect of adding external rotation through the hip, and notice how his chest opens up as he pulls back. Some of my clients have difficulty stepping into this position, and so we start them in the position at what I would call a 90 degree, and they just do the same pull. That would be the regression for this sequence. From pulling, we go right into pushing. Again, we start with two arms. I'm going to ask Myron to bend his legs a little bit more and sit his weight down. And now he's going to press forward with the bands. If that's too much resistance, he can simply step back. I'm going to ask him to step back a little bit, sit a little bit more in the legs, and not come forward with the shoulders. Now he's using that same retraction pattern that he used when he was pulling to get a more effective push. When he finishes about 10 repetitions of this, we'll move on to the next sequence. As with the pulling pattern, we're now going to move to a one side. Here he's going to step with his left leg, press with his right arm. Step out. Notice he gets a little quad stimulation on the front leg and a little bit of stretch on that back leg. Perfect. The next pattern for the trunk twist is hip rotation. Myron's in a good athletic stance, knees bent. Notice that he has his elbows in because I want him to think of his arms going along for the ride as he rotates his inside hip towards the wall. Again, I'm going to tell him I want this shoulder to be turned as much to the wall as he comes around. Once I see that he's driving from the hips, I'll ask him to reach out with his arms, and now he'll do the same thing. The arms just go for the ride. The final pattern we use is a hip hinge. You'll notice we've pushed, we've pulled, there's been bending at the knee, there's been core stabilization. Now we're going to do a wood chop. Myron's holding one handle of the band, and he is simply going to have a slight bend in the knee. Notice as he goes down how straight his back is. I want you to release your hips forward a little bit more. I want him to extend through the hip, but not through the back. Perfect. With all of these patterns, we've demonstrated them on one side. They are done on both sides. Clients are able to do them in an alternating pattern as they become more adept at it. But in the beginning, do all of your repetitions on one side so that you can groove the pattern. Once again, we are doing this as warm-up, as rehearsal, and we are stimulating the body while doing so.